It's very early days and we don't have too much in art or stories, but we're building up the basics. Here's a quick recap of everything we've done so far. The very first thing that we did was put together some smooth movement. You absolutely need good movement in these games. It's not even a question when your competition is games like Hollow Knight and Silksong. Jump, double jump, dash, wall climb, you name it, we've got it. Next, we need enemies. You need to have a wide variety of different kinds of enemies scattered around the map to make traversal challenging and engaging. Enemies that make you stop and question your strategy for getting to your destination. And what's your destination? A massive boss with multiple phases, probably. We've made 3 so far: a security drone that charges you, shoots missiles and spawns smaller enemies, a worm-faced guy that flies around the room, stopping occasionally to shoot massive laser from his face, and gets really mad when you do damage to him. And finally, we have this poor walrus. Experiment number 094SR, a research project gone wrong. He escaped and killed all the people who have mistreated him, and now he won't let you past. And what do you find on your way to these boss rooms? You find secrets. And what are those secrets? Upgrades to your energy and upgrades to your health that will help you fight those bosses. Next, we added money. When you defeat enemies, you get a nice little reward. Now, what do you do with said money? Well, you need a place to spend it, which is why our next step is to set up a shop. But to buy stuff, you need an inventory, which we just finished setting up. It's pretty basic, but it should do the job for now. Anyway, let's get to work on setting up this shop. I'm muted, thank you for letting me know. God damn. One day I'll get it right. Damn. Alright, welcome to the stream, guys. NA, happy to have you here. Glad you were waiting. That's cool. I like the scheduling stream thing works, so. Okay, so it's our last day of, well, I say last day. We've been working on this inventory shop thing, and things are going pretty well, right? Like we've got the items now can be purchased, and you can see them in your inventory, and we're even storing them 10 p.m. Nice. we've swapped sides. Now it's early for me, late for you. So we've got the items, you can use them. You're new to game development? Nice, dude. It's a great little hobby. And now we just need to finish off the 3 items that we created as examples. So we need to like make them actually be usable in the game. So the first one we set up yesterday, excuse me, was this item here. It's called Reliquify. I mean, new to your stream, working on game for 4.5 years. Nice, dude. Happy to have you here. So we've got Reliquify, which essentially just is going to send you back to your last save without like making you lose any money. Awesome intro, thank you. I'm going to change it each week. I don't know how much work. It didn't take me much. Like, it'll be alright. I also need to add a tail to it and stuff, but yeah. So that when people watch the VOD that they can know what's going on. So yeah, this sends you back to the last save point, which is fine, so no penalties, you just go back to your last save point. And I don't know if I'm going to keep this item, I just needed a couple of items in the game to test out. So this is one we created, and how we're doing this is relatively simple, right? So we actually have like an item object. What's it called? Item? Inventory item? Inventory item, that is the name of the script. It has an on use, but it doesn't do anything, which is pretty funny because we don't need that actually, because what I ended up doing was having a string name, so it's just a callable. It's just a little function you just put the name of the function you want to call in this. So for reliquify, we created a callable called onReliquifyUsed, and essentially what we can do then, we could even like emit that signal. Honestly, that might even be a better idea, actually. Like have that just be the name of the signal that you emit, so that you can just access anything in the game if you need to, because right now it goes back to the player, now that I say that. So when we have like on inventory used, essentially what I'm doing is I'm obviously removing that item from the inventory, and then if we've got has method, and then it's got item, you know, used. And so like if you have the action, then you call, right? Which is pretty easy if it's on the player, right? So at the very bottom, I've got like on reliquify used, which actually just like kills you at the moment because there's no penalty. So like it's no different. But now that I've been speaking about that, I actually think like making this a signal, so that you just put the name of the signal that you want to emit, right? And so that you can just like hit anything, which I think would make a lot of sense. Because like the other one that I have, right? Let's look at the other items that I have created that I need to like work out how they work, just as like a sort of test to get a better idea of how this system will work. So I haven't got the stream open on my tablet. There we go. So if we look at the item, what's it called? Fiend Soda? Where is this? Is it a folder called items? We've got 3, right? So Fiend Soda is going to make you move faster, right? And the question that I was asking yesterday before I got off stream was like, how? How am I going to make the character move faster? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, there really should be like an override kind of set of stats, so that I can manipulate things within this without having to get too deep into the code, right? Like, because if I want to temporarily increase the movement speed, then realistically, I need to target the data, right? Which is like actually jump distance, which controls how fast the character moves. So say if I wanted to increase this by 16 and I wanted to make it 80, like ideally on the player data, player state data, just type in data. Is it just data? We want to, on the function get velocity, we probably want to wrap this in brackets, right? Jump distance divided by jump time. And then like either multiplied by some sort of global here. You know what I mean? Like global stats, global stat modifier. Right, so we can just manipulate some kind of global stat modifier and go like a 1.2 or something like that. That's the easiest way that I can get access to this kind of information. So I can just change, I can make them like, depending on how far I want to take it, like maybe everything is faster or it's just movement speed, or maybe even fire rate. Like we have another thing here that we can access, which is the shoot time, right? Like if there's shoot buffer time remaining. So in theory, you could shoot quicker, although the rate is pretty fast already. It's 0.1. But yeah, we'd have to actually reduce that though. So yeah, I think that's the way to go for that, which means I need a new auto load, but that's all right. It probably doesn't need to be like an actual node. It can just be a script. Can you auto load a resource? Set path to add. Wait, yeah, no, actually, like project, if I like go here It can be a .res file. So it could be like the default bus, or you could create like a stat page or like overrides, I think. I don't actually know. Where's the player script? Singletons, let's try. Create a script, inherits resource. Override stats. I'll give it a class name. Override stats. So we'll go like export var move speed modifier, and it's modifier, and it's a float, and it's going to be just equal to 1, right? So like everything here is just equal to 1, and then you just multiply it by or do whatever you need to do. Like if we do like a export var shoot speed modifier float, and it's actually equal to 0, and then you add to that to reduce it. Can't come up with a nice way to do these temp buffs right now. Always spend a great amount of time trying to figure out what the most popular way of doing this is. Yeah, I forgot like the word var. I probably like should look it up, but I like to sometimes think about it myself. The only issue with this being a so actually it being a resource doesn't really work, because we need to get access to, oh, I guess like we could just use scene tree timers, that's fine. Best practices are good to look up. I recommend that. I'm not going to do it because I'm a mad lad. And modifier on move speed modifier. Used. Oh, actually, like, and see, that's the other thing as well. Like the other question is like, how long do you do it for? So like if you have this say like the energy drink, for example, like we're going to emit this signal, speed increased. I need to create another variable for like vars, so it'd be like an array, I guess. Go to inventory, probably like item, inventory item. I'm gonna do that here. So we're gonna get export var args, action args, if there's gonna be any, and it's an array. So then you go, I wonder if there's a way I could check for that before I do it. So if I go signal manager jot has signal, oh, that does exist. Dude, that's sick. I love it when you can just sort of guess. So what about temporary buffs that are set in stone with the resource? If they were permanent, I suppose you could do that too. Yeah, you could do both if you wanted to. You just create probably a separate modifier depending on if you wanted both or just one or the other. If signal manager dot has signal action, like a resource that is a buff. Oh, that could work. You just like load that up. You're like, here's your resource. I mean, I guess my question is, can resources even use like the process function? I don't think they can. But if I use a scene tree timer, then maybe. Signal manager has signal, then signal manager emit. Emit signal, action, args, and it's an array, and then you just go action args. Emits a signal. The signal must exist, so it should be built-in signal of this class or one of the inherited classes. A user-defined signal. This method supports a variable number of arguments, so parameters can be passed in by a comma-separated list. No, but the object you get has a reference to the resource. So when the component of your player handles the logic of it, and then the component on your player handles the logic of it. Yeah. Oh, I see. So I create like another node here for like modifiers, and I can just like pass that down or something. So I don't understand, like if you pass an array, does that count as a comma separated list? This method supports a variable number of arguments. This method supports variable numbers, so parameters can pass as a comma separated list. I don't know, man. I don't think passing an array counts as a comma separated list. Comma separated list. You know what I'm saying? By using the names exposed in the signal manager as a vote. A list is a list. I guess we'll find out. I think it'll just receive the array and be like, what? So yes, now let me refactor this a second. So we've got this inventory item. We've got unused, emit signal, action arg. So we have to make sure that the signal manager has the signal so we can pass it off anywhere we go. And then, so in the player, we actually have like on item used, and we just like call that function here instead of like doing that. We just go player data dot inventory item. It's no, sorry, an array typed, only typed one for every cell in the array. Okay. Some arrays are typed. Not all of them. So then we go item dot on use. We did that before we remove it. And then you can have a string and an integer inside of an array. Yeah, you can. Yeah, 100%. Yep. If you desire it to be, yes. So then we can get like fiend soda, and we can say like, oh, this is the duration. It probably should be a dictionary, but whatever. We say float, and you say like 10 seconds. Let's see how that goes. Okay, and then I like your idea. We have a node here. And is it going to be a node 2D original? I'll just make it a node 2D, that's fine. Put it at the top. And we can just call this buffs. Untyped arrays exist, yeah. They do. So the question is, so this is the issue I was having yesterday, where it's just like the path to that like particular piece of data is pretty tough. Here is perfect, by the way. I gotta chop it. It's bothering me so much. It's so long. Player buffs. Pickups. I used to have really long hair when I was younger. I don't know if I've got a photo. Oh, it's probably on my Facebook. I don't know if it's in my photo history. I mean, it's not super long, I guess. Like, I used to be down to my shoulders. Is it in my favorites? Because I sometimes will whip this out to show people. Not in this favorite. I got multiple Google photo accounts. No, not that one. Oh, actually, genuinely might be. No. No, I don't know then. Trust the Google search. It's all just photos of my wife. Okay, never mind. I can't show you without doxing myself. Okay. So. Yeah, what do we do? What do we do for these buffs? It's gonna be in the scripts. Pickups. Player. So I guess it's like, I like what you said, like you pass a resource down here, but like you still need to know how to get to it. That's the tricky bit. So either that all of these states have access to this buff node, and there's like a modifier that they can go for, because like how this all pulls together is that like there's a specific stat that we have to hit. So like you either need to know the direct path to the thing, and I'm not exactly sure how you can get to that. Like that's the part that I get like a little bit confused about. Like if I get stat, right? So I just create like a random function like this. Because like I would like to do this cleanly if possible, because it at least like allows you to do more things easily without having to write like a million different functions for each thing, right? Like there's like you could do it, like you could certainly do it by just like writing a function for every single stat change that you want to make temporarily, right? Like that's straightforward enough. Like anyone can do that. But then you might have to write like every time you want a new item, you have to create a new function. Whereas like if you could do it generally and you say like, okay, for this one in particular, I want the character to be able to jump high, right? So then you ask your question, okay, well you need to get to jump height. This is the exact variable here that determines how high you jump. Okay, well it exists in the player state machine under data, right? That's literally where it is. So how do you get to that via a string? Because you can get, right? And it wants a property. But like we're not on the player state machine. I think a resource that has all the possible stat modifiers is fine, yeah. But then it would need to be and then we use this. Because I know you can. So if I create like an export variable here, or even an auto load with a duration, of course, yeah. You just pass in like a duration. So you can have like variable numbers of duration depending on what depends, right? So we could have that resource we created. Yeah, I put it in the singletons, but like actually we should probably bring it over to So we got override stats. That should really be in the player. Right? And then you have override stats wherever it went. I have a lot of scripts. You got move speed, shoot speed, whatever. And then you can put this on both. So if you create that resource, right? This is the fun thing about resources. Override stats. And you call it player stats override. And you give this to both. They'll share that data. You know what I mean? Like, you can just preload it in both. Not sober right now. Take my comments with a grain of salt. Oh, you're alright, dude. Coding under the influence, mate. Player stats override, right? So if we go to the buffs, I get this. Control click it. And then also, oh no, but we need to be able to access this. Did you get a copy of copy? I've had a coffee. I've got one here as well for later. I just filled it up with hot water. I don't normally like my coffee, it's like super hot. But I filled it fully up with hot water so that when I'm ready for it in like an hour, I can drink it again. You know what I mean? So I don't have to leave the room. I'm prepared. And this also, like, I was planning to do fun stuff today, but I wanted to finish this off and I don't know. Like, how long's a piece of string? Genius, yes. Okay, my brain is still like going, how do I get this information though? Because I still need to get access to this pretty much everywhere. Because you can put the player override sits in the motion, but that just assumes that there's a motion. You just need to have access to this script everywhere you want it. And I don't know about that. So you go to like motion, right? Which is the parent script for the player, right? You've got data here, you've got player overrides. And then you'll be able to access it there. So then in theory, you could say, turn, go to run. And when we do, oh, actually, yeah, go to get velocity. Oh yeah, but see, that won't even, you would have to pass in a modifier. Because this isn't a resource. I think buff handler is only what you want. A buff resource and a buff handler? Probably, yeah. And yes, because I'm realizing that this doesn't even exist. Get out of here. I got get velocity. Okay. I still think this should be globally available, so that I can just ping it anytime I need it. You don't want to have too many of these kind of things, but I think in this case it's just going to be the thing I need to do. It's in the player collectible, TSN, player data, player collision. Oh, this is scenes, I want scripts. Player. By the way, I just noticed there's some background noise interface. How's that? Sometimes the cables, the problem is, hang on a second, I can actually hear it if I go like fully. There's a lot of room noise, right? Because I have like a fully tiled floor. I don't have any fabric in here. better. There you go. It was just the cable. Yeah, this cable's ancient. I was actually thinking about the other day. I saw like one of those Facebook memories. Still there when music is playing. It could just be like old as fuck. The interface is ancient. Yeah. I might have to just do a VOD review and see if I can figure out what it is. I'll know it when I hear it. I can't hear, like, on my end, listening to the playback. Like, the actual... Probably not grounded. Definitely not grounded. No, actually, now that you mention it, like, all the audio stuff is just two-prong. There's no ground. Well, it just plugs directly into the computer. Does the computer have a ground? Oh, it's like, now my brain is like, Is anything grounded by default? The DI, like the direct input that powers the amplifier for the microphone, the junk stuff is, Pro Gear is more grounded. I don't, the turn up the music, see if it changes. Definitely in the music? Oh. That's weird. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like check that back because the music sounds normal to me. But yeah, I think that, so I've got a cloud lifter for the amp. Also, your home's electrical system is old. It's like built in 1986. Yeah. And okay, so the M audio box was definitely like on the mid-range. Like, so it's a mid-range audio interface. It's not like the cheapest you can get, but it's definitely not the most expensive. The microphone is 15 years old. And the cables are too. Like the XLR inputs, I bought this all back when I was in university making music. So like, it's pretty ancient. But like music equipment can just last forever if you treat it properly. But yeah, the cables and stuff are definitely not expensive. Like the microphone was like a low tier microphone. Microphone sounds good? Okay, good. Okay, so we gotta load up this, the guy in Japan, massive audiophile, paid 50,000 for his own power line clean. Jesus, man. I couldn't, fortunately for me, I'm actually like hearing impaired. So like a lot of this stuff just flies right over my head. It's like, I literally had to stop making music. So like, I cannot hear it properly. I can't mix to save myself. Override stats. Inventory player wide. What's it called? Player stats override? Override. Wait, do you mean to say it was you that paid $50,000? I can imagine that. Okay. So. Buff manager. And then this just in the process. Takeo Morita. Dude, I can't even imagine. The poll alone was $10,000. Goes to extreme lengths for Quest to audio. Oh, it's an Instagram.
The music fan spends thousands of dollars on high-end stereo equipment, all in a quest for audio perfection. The 82-year-old retired lawyer has installed a 40-foot utility pole in his front yard that he connected to the power grid, so he can have a personal source of pure electricity. Marita says that having your own power source eliminates electrical interference that comes from sharing a public utility pole. Takeo Marita likes to listen to music.
That's ridiculous. Good on him. It's actually pretty bad now. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I have to do live review. Pull the plug on your can. Last time it did this, it froze the stream, so hold on to your seats. We can review. I don't know, do I get to hear myself? Testing? Oh, it's coming from... Hey, connect to the... Coming from the tablet. Audio from mic has no noise, it's only the music. Okay, hang on a second. I'm connecting the headphones to the feedback that I have. I'm just trying to get it to work. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this sounds good, right? That we've established, but the music's the thing that sounds bad. Are we good now? Sounds alright to me. Play opera with less jank. The other problem with playing like I don't mind that music, that kind of music, but like the problem is you end up oh, what the hell? I was like, where's that sound coming from? It's the tablet's now playing the song. You know, build up of static happens all the time, yeah. Let's put this in the physics process. So basically what we want to do is know that there is a buff and a duration and signal back to the buff modifier. So I mean, wouldn't it? It would just be easier if the player stats override was a node. I think. Rather than like you can have a boss manager, but like, if you just made a node. Hang on a second, just let me play around with this because like I know a way that this can be really straightforward, and we can worry about like. So if the signal manager was actually a node, we would have access to delta, like we could time it properly. Or even if it is just honestly, like it depends how accurate you want to be, right? Like surely, can we get access to the scene tree? Where's the, like it doesn't need to be that complicated. You just go to the, inventory, trash, buffs. Okay, I got lost. Under scenes. No. Yeah, I was going to do scenes, singleton. Wait, no. No, it wasn't. What the hell? My brain is like, is early, guys. Player override stats. Here we go. Override stats. We can say like, we probably, okay, so you could have this be done a couple of different ways, right? You could have like set on set override activated, something like that, and then you take an argument, which would be the string, so the variable, the stat, and this would just be a string reference, and then the other one would be a duration. Can't click. Right, and then so we'll set, say whatever it is, if get property, it's a string name also. This needs to be a string name. And we say get stat. Then the opera comment was just to hear noise, not to play live. Oh, okay. There you go. If get stat, then get stat, bar stat, actual stat, stat modifier equals get property stat, and then stat modifier equals the amount, right? Oh, that's the other thing we need. So here you go, amount, float. And then we can do, can we get tree here, from here? I don't think we can. We don't have the ability to get tree. So we don't have any way to like do a duration, like a timer. We can't do create timer, I don't think. So there's no way for us to do that. Scene tree timer. You can get the game state to do it, but I don't think that's a good idea. So it probably makes more sense for this to be an actual, rather than a resource, just make it a node. And then you can actually just, so if this was a node, watch it like break. It's gonna be like, what the hell? Delete that. Why is this so mad at me? Duration is never used. Okay, yes. But then we can go get tree.create timer duration dot timeout, although it's probably more like, have you heard about the game blueprints? Yeah, I have. I almost like was gonna play it today. If we manage to get this done before 9 o'clock, then I'll play it. I'm not big on roguelikes, but we'll see. So the thing is, you kind of want to track this, right? So you're like, okay. Yeah, it's like only a 50%, okay. Only 50% roguelike. So if we have like on set override active, right? So we set it to be active. But now we need probably an array of active overrides. An array. Active stat modifiers. I can't spell modifiers. And that's an array, right? And then you put this. Is it an array or is it a dictionary? Because like even if we put this in the array, so if we go stat modifier, no, active stat modifier dot pen or push. So we got it in the array, right? But then once the timer runs out, how do we know which one to, like if we have multiple, right? Because that's possible. Or we could make it possible. How will we know which timer relates to what stat? If that makes sense. So maybe it makes more sense for it to be a dictionary. Stat modifier equals amount, active stat modifier dot append. Oh, realistically, what we do need is to know what we're counting down, right? So like, once this counts down, what was it counting down? Because like, if we have like a process function, right? Probably physics process. And we're just like, if like active, then duration, like whatever duration, you know, like modifier dot duration minus equals delta. Sends you a dis message since YouTube likes to ignore sus messages. Yeah, YouTube's not very good for links. Gemini AI, example of Godot problem. Gemini! Game of Thrones episode 1? What the hell? You're like, what is this? What in the AI? If Godot, there's an area 2D colliding with another area and it gets reactivated, it doesn't do area entered. Oh yes, okay. That is a common problem. What I would do is I would like, if you need to know continuously if something is overlapping something else, I would not use area 2Ds and I would use collision shapecasts probably instead. I hear you. This is one of the classic Godot quirks that can feel like a bug when you're in the zone. And you're exactly, man, I hate AI so much. Dude, it ticks me off when it talks like this. Area 2D signals, like area entered, only trigger on the transition from not touching to touching. If an area is disabled and re-enabled where it overlaps with another, the physics engine sees it as already being inside its state, so no entry is fired. Manual check. Physics frame sync. Oh, wait, did I miss? That's old? Old message. Oh, YouTube. You can get blueprints for like 12 euros on G2A with a promo code, like OK Shop. What is G2A? I've never heard of that. G2A.com. Let's dodge. 12 euros is still like $30. It's not that expensive in Australia at the moment. I looked it up this morning. It's on special as well. It is 29 Australian dollars. What is that? XC? 29 AUD to EU. 17 euro. Okay, so it's a little bit more expensive here. but not bad. Yeah. Yeah, I've never used like other services, you know, marketplaces. Oh, you start with stolen data. I agree. Don't use it. Down the track, you get lovely surprises with insurance and auditors are waiting to change the law. You'll also get secretly backlist on pro lists. Find it hard to work with real teams later. It's an interesting take. For me, it's €19 here. Denmark on Steam right now. Nice. Okay, so it's a similar price. Although €2 is a big difference. Yeah, AI is kind of like a bit of a... I don't like to use it because it pisses me off. It doesn't really even answer the question anyway. Closest I'll get is Google AI if I'm just looking for a real general response. Okay, so we've got the physics process modifier, active stat modifier, .append stat modifier. So we've got this array, but like, what are we doing? Like modifier duration. So this is, I think, probably where you were mentioning NA, like you have a resource or something like that, so you can just count it down. You pass the resource in, and it modifies a stat, and then it has a duration, and then you can count that down. And once it reaches 0, you can remove that stat. But I feel like you could also do that with the dictionary, because resources are just kind of like glorified dictionaries anyway. There's a massive effects company down under called Animal Logic. The owner was a good friend. I saw his list. It's massive. That's crazy, actually. But that's like for art, right? Like not coding. Equals amount. Oh, duration actually. Blueprints is Unity engine. What? What? Unity. No. Coding shaders is coding, whether it affects movies or games. Yeah, that's a fair point. I don't know. Like, I know a lot of coders use it. I don't, because I feel like that's kind of against what the channel's about, so it wouldn't make much sense for me to use it. Active stat modifiers, active. Active equals true. For I in corrupt individuals always crash out and drag people down with them. Corrupt individuals crash out and drag people with them on the way. Avoid it for all liability. Yeah, I think like the closest I had, there was a point in time where I had some like designs, like there's a shop, right? Where I don't think anyone's bought anything, but like it's YouTube, so it's like I'll have it because I can. And like there's like mouse pads that you can buy, and a couple of the designs were AI generated, but I removed them because like, yeah, it's not cool. Y in active stat modifier. What's it so cranky at me for? It's over the rant, carry on. No, it's people are very passionate about it. What's going on? Expected statement. Oh, there's a double column there. I in active stat modifiers. Active stat modifiers. I. Minus equals delta. Right? Now, I could probably make this even better if this was a string name. I wonder, actually. A variant and an int. I've used variant before. Variant. It's a data type. In computer program, variant is a class that is designed to store a variety of number of types. But it would probably be better if I just stored the string name. Actually, I am storing the string name. That makes more sense. I love the idea of machine learning. I truly believe it's no different than a brain, but just very small. I think, like, the idea of it is better, but the fact that there's been so much, like, theft and stuff is kind of the problem, right? Like, in principle, there's nothing really that inherently bad about it. It's just the application has gone so poorly. Actually, I don't really... Do I need an active? I can just say, like, if active stat modifiers. But a lot of the reasons that I am too HD to want to sit around and read documentation, yeah, I see, and that's the thing, like, that's where something like a large language model could be good to, like, help you process or find the thing that you're looking for quicker, because it can read, right? But yeah. It's a total schmozzle. Active stat modifier dot is empty. So if not, if I can have a conversation with Oracle that knows the documentation instead, it's a lot easier. Yeah. Fellow Oracle user. I don't think I need this. We just test if there's actually anything in the active stat modifier. And then we just minus equals delta. And then if active stat modifier is equal to greater than, less than, or equal to 0, then we will call a function called deactivate. Override. On override deactivated. Pokemon but jazz. And we just need the string name now. Probably worth knowing the default value. I wasn't even live. I don't know what you mean by that. I was like 10 minutes behind. Oh, right, yeah. It happens with YouTube. You don't even realize. So yeah, that's, I guess, the other thing. Is the default value. Yeah, the thing is like a little button at the bottom, right? It's not very clear. If get void. What? I don't mind being a criminal. If get stat, then var stat modifier equals get stat, and then stat modifier equals default value, whatever that is. Zero, which is not correct. Okay, so we've got errors. We forgot a thing over there, and we don't have anything here. We're just going to call on override deactivated. Past tense, and pass in the pass in I, and then well, actually, what we need to do as well is so. Yeah. We will remove it, which is actually something you shouldn't do while you're looping. The auditor insurance companies rub their hands when you make liabilities later on. You pay higher premiums than everyone else. Thanks, crashing out. I guess it just depends on what you're doing. Oh yeah, the copyright lawyers are very happy. They're ready. They're ready for it. Okay, so yeah, I guess the question is now we're looping through things, which is actually something you really shouldn't do when you shouldn't remove something from a loop. But we're going to be doing this every frame. Makes me wonder. This might be a bad idea. So we're looping through. Maybe it's okay. You have to wait through to the end of the loop, I guess. I suppose... Well, yeah, you're at the bottom of the loop here. It's probably fine. It's a dictionary. How safe is it? Because I know with an array, like removing it during the loop is actually really bad. Well, this is a lot of errors. Not like actual errors, the game won't crash, it'll just behave strangely. YOLO. Let's just see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work. Active stat modifier. Dot erase. Key is stat. Okay. But yeah, the default value is probably an issue here too. What is a stat modifier? Modifier. I can't spell modifier. Jesus Christ. So yeah, this is the other problem as well. Do we need another dictionary? Of default values? Like what it was before you did this? Or does this equal 1? Does everything equal 1? I'm currently working on Gaussian splats and Gaussian surfel using other forms of AI that doesn't use stolen data. After 4 DGS. I took a break from my brain to fathom 6 DGS. I don't actually even know what that means. So if they're all 1, then you can set them back to 1. A new form of rendering, nice. Okay, sweet. Okay, so this is all just like a bunch of random stuff. Let's see. So this is an override now. If I go back to the project settings, player stats override, this needs to be deleted, and then we go find that script in the player stats. Oh, I moved it to singletons, didn't I? Override stats. Override stats. Okay, so now we should be able to just emit a signal. Right, that's what we were planning to do. We were going to emit a signal. Yeah, that's literally how I started this. I was like, it'd be easier if we emit signals instead. Item. Right, signal has, so signal manager needs to have the signal. So signal needs to be, so there's one there, right? On, I suppose you could say like, for reading a liquefy, on like soft reset. We're high level smooth brains here, yeah. One step above script kiddies. on soft reset. Pop this out. Signal manager dot on soft reset dot connect. It's expecting a callable, which is all the way down here. I'm going to change this to requested. I'm from brain with face, can't read them. Ask me to compile your program, no prompts. Hell yeah, dude. Okay. So that's reliquify. Let me go back to the item. So this just is only so we just like that is the soft request is the action name. So now let's just see if we got that working, because it's much more simple. We just need to request a restart of the game at the moment. Any one of these will do. They'll probably break. They break? No, okay, they're all good. And then we go to this and we use it, and then we, okay, so we get a crash. That's all right. Global position on based object type previously freed. Okay, we got a bunch of errors. Calling signal on soft request to callable character body 2D on reliquify used expected 0 arguments but called with 1. Ah. Oh. Global position on base type previously freed. I don't know why it would do that. Anyway, back to the show. If args. Wait, no, but I don't want to do that. Like if args, action args dot is empty, then like call it without it so that it doesn't have an error. I don't like that. Let's just try. And we'll worry about like, why would this be necessary? Why let me do that? Ridiculous. Okay. Let's move on to the more difficult one and actually test out this new system that we've decided to create. On move speed increased. Yeah, it's still gonna have to go through the signal system because that's just how it's gonna be. And size. This is interesting. So we need 2 variables actually. So make the first one the where's Goosefat to save the day? He's probably asleep. I mean, it's pretty early for a Sunday, I guess. I don't know. I still wake up at 5 even on the weekends, but some people sleep in. Okay. They say we've got 2 arguments here. I'm kind of curious. I was skeptical when we did that, but like, so set override has 3. But we're actually not going to call directly to this because I don't really feel like, well, we're still going to need to interpret the data. It means I'm still needing to, I guess we could. So annoying. I won't be the fire truck in chat today. Be the change you want to see. Oh, actually, you're on YouTube. Amount. Duration. Float. So I don't think this will work. This is my idea. Yeah, and then if I go to the buff, what is it called? Override stance. No, I actually don't think if I say like funk on move speed increase, or you have to create the signal, right? That signal manages the war. Erisera, rated with 21 viewers. Welcome. How's it going? Let me just jump over to the Twitch. Thank you so much for the raid. Shout out. Esra. How are we all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have to just go like play the intro. I'm making a Metroidvania. We are making it. I'm making a Metroidvania. It's very early days. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we're working on a Metroidvania. Let's just pause this for a second. Right now, we're working on items, right? Which is kind of a bit dry, but we've got almost everything in place to have everything going. No, play it. Play it. Play the video or play the game? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. The little pre-intro. I'm making a Metroidvania. It's very early days and we don't have too much in art or stories, but we're building up the basics. Here's a quick recap of everything we've done so far. The very first thing that we did was put together some smooth movement. You absolutely need good movement in these games. It's not even a question when your competition is games like Hollow Knight and Silksong. Jump, double jump, dash, wall climb, you name it, we've got it. Next, we need enemies. You need to have a wide variety of different kinds of enemies scattered around the map to make traversal challenging and engaging. Enemies that make you stop and question your strategy for getting to your destination. And what's your destination? A massive boss with multiple phases, probably. We've made 3 so far: a security drone that charges you, shoots missiles and spawns smaller enemies, a worm-faced guy that flies around the room, stopping occasionally to shoot massive laser from his face, and gets really mad when you do damage to him. And finally, we have this poor walrus. Experiment number 094SR, a research project gone wrong. He escaped and killed all the people who have mistreated him, and now he won't let you past. And what do you find on your way to these boss rooms? You find secrets. And what are those secrets? Upgrades to your energy and upgrades to your health that will help you fight those bosses. Next, we added money. When you defeat enemies, you get a nice little reward. Now, what do you do with said money? Well, you need a place to spend it, which is why our next step is to set up a shop. But to buy stuff, you need an inventory, which we just finished setting up. It's pretty basic, but it should do the job for now. Anyway, let's get to work on setting up this shop.
It's very, what is it called? Game art. It's a game dev art for sure. Them bosses look funky. Yep. The first iterations. The mic spiked. Oh, did it? That's weird. Pull the plug again.
Audio Technica, why you do this to me? Thank you. I appreciate it. What have you been up to today, Eris? How are we doing? What have you been working on? We're back in action. Dude, this mic, I'm gonna have to replace it. You've been working on a game too? Oh, you got a nice model, eh? For your VTuber? It looks so cool. Are you making a platformer as well? Learning Godot 4, nice. We love a Godot. A Godot head. Oh, you got some games? Working at full stream release. Neurotype Cafe? Hell yeah. YouTubies. And, oh yeah. Well, everyone that was in the Twitch chat came from your Twitch, so welcome in. A rhythm typing cafe game. Nice. Dude, this looks hard. Can I run it? It's got rhythm, so where's my music? Hang on a second, I'm trying to figure out what the heck. Hold. Oh, that is coming through. Sweet. I don't have any of my add-ons on this particular... I can't go full screen. It won't look good. Test your own song? How do we play? I don't actually know. Neurotype Cafe is a game about a young necromancer, Gabriella, who decides to forsake tradition by opening up a cafe in an off-limits area of Wizard College campus. Nice. Spend your days pursuing your true passion. Baking, unfortunately, you're terrible at doing it the human way, so you've invented new magic. It's so fun. Tutorial. Oh, give me the tutorial. Yeah, for sure. Oh, look, a customer. Interesting S on the Discord. Okay, interact with the E key. Once the customers interact with the E... Okay, so we do press E again. Then we have the order... Open your spellbook holding down space. It seems like the customer wants sweet, bitter cake. Each color represents a flavor, and the icon are dishes. Go to the kitchen. The need, flavor product. Oh, I played a game like this before. I know what I'm doing. Flavor product. So how do I... sweet. Press E? Flavor. Oh, cake. Do I have to click that? Sweet, bitter, cake. The original audio router for the Mac was called Soundflower. The new one is called Black Hole by
Existential audio. They allow free copy you a challenge for the moment with Mario coins. I'll try it later offline. And then press Q. It's not working for me. Great job. Now start the spell, hold down Q. Okay, it's working. Type the letter when it hits. Okay. This is your progress bar when full. The spell is complete. This is the tongue-tied meter. When full, the spell fails. Missing notes fills it up. Okay. Damn, I feel like I'm gonna fail. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Oh wait, I'm supposed to type. Oh my god. I'm so doomed. Wait, what the hell? Missed 11. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. Great job, now. Okay. Might need to calibrate, still a work in progress. Oh, there was a calibrate, right? Sorry, buddy, I failed your cake. I think I bricked it by failing so hard. Hang on a second. Reset, reset. Oh, maybe, yeah, calibrate. That was an option, what? Wasn't it? On start, press the spacebar with the skulls aligned with the circle. That feels alright. Let's try again. The spider on the hat. E. Oh, you went to a different spot this time. Mate. Now that you open your spell book. Oh, I have to go here as well. What's the confirm button there? I press spacebar. Okay, watch me fail again. Okay, type the letter when it hits the white circle. I'm not ready for this. Okay. Where... T... H-E... Skull? What's a skull? Oh, God. Let's try it again. I'm determined. I always want to go here. I don't know why. But I actually have to go here again. Round 2. Okay. And what do I do with the skulls? Oh god. Skull space. Skull space. Oh my god. I want one more go. I can't touch type. This is not my game. But it's funny still. Oh my god. Okay. B-E-W-A-R-E space. I'm doing it. T. That's the wrong key. H. E space. I got one. Hey, we did it. T-A-A. I failed. I failed. That's good. That's good. It's making me smile, so that's the main thing. Is that like, Is it something that people who do those like music games with their keyboards or like with the mouses and stuff play? I've never played rhythm games like that, but like, or is it meant for like educational purposes? Either way, it's pretty fun. Oh, so is that what it's called? The music rhythm games? Am I just like getting the name wrong and calling it something completely wrong? OSU, yeah. This one. That's with the mouse, I think, though. And then you press space, you move the mouse and hit space. I don't know. I'm not a rhythm game guy. I don't have, actually, I do have rhythm. That's not true. I shouldn't sell myself short, but hey, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Now back to this nightmare of a project. Items. Good Lord. Okay. Okay. We've got active stat modifiers. This is probably not going to work the first time, but we'll give it a go. So what we were struggling with was how do we get these like items? Say we have an item here called Fiend Soda. And it says, sometimes you need a boost. Throw away your humanity and become a fiend. And we want it to make you move faster and by 16 pixels for 10 seconds, right? Now, how do we get that information? We've got a signal that we can emit on move speed increased. Where does it get picked up? How does this get interpreted? That is really the challenge. We've got some code here that may work. This is all a test. I don't know. So we can receive this. So we can take it. We can take it in the ready function, and we can go signal manager dot on. It's just called move speed increased. That is the name of the signal, and we can connect it to a callable. I won't send it straight into set override activated. Although we could, if we do this properly, we add a third element to this and have it be a string. And we connect it. The string is called a stat. It's a string name, actually. That's the wrong variable type, string name. Just paste in string name. That makes sense. Stat. The name of the stat is move speed modifier, actually. Right? And that actually goes at the top. So the pattern is stat, amount, and then duration, right? So this is the question I had was, signals allow you to emit an array, but like it says an array of arguments. And I don't think that means you could just pass in an array and that'll be the arguments. I think that we'll just interpret that as an array as an argument, right? So we're about to find out anyway. Onset override activated, right? So now, watch the game crash, because that's what I think it's going to happen. I could be pleasantly surprised, but I doubt it. That is not the right thing to show on screen. Get some chill tunes going in here. Watch me fail. Use. Oh, look, we got a bunch of stuff in the debugger. And nothing is going to happen. Oh, yeah, here we go. Action panel position. Okay, invalid access. Oh, okay, that's weird. Oh, this is just like problems with the UI though, right? We got a bunch of errors though. Go back to that. Use. Look at the debugger, just filled up. Inventory item on use, error calling signal on move speed increase to callable, override stats, onset, method expected 3 arguments, called with 1. That is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Now, how do you remedy that? So that we can, that is the kind of, I'm kind of curious about like the documentation on this. So if you go back to the signal, emit, is it just the signal documentation? Where did I see that? Connect? Callable? Isn't it in the emit? Item, inventory item, emit signal, args. Emits the signal must exist and should be built by a signal of this class, inherited class, or user defined. This method supports a variable number of arguments, so the parameters can be passed as a comma separated list. I think I'm going to need to just interpret that myself. See this? It takes a comma separated list. It takes a list. You don't give it an array. It doesn't work like that. I wonder if there's a way that I can just what you could do. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky actually. Unless everything ever receiving this stuff takes an array and then just interprets it itself. Or is there a way that we can just like turn this into a list of arguments? Or it could be a dictionary? No, that's not going to work either. I think you just have to make the accepting. I might need to do some research on how I can actually turn that into just like a list. But like an aware list. Like, how do you do that? I don't know. Get type building, get class name, get TypeScript. So yeah, let's just have it I feel like on the tip of my mind there is the answer out there somewhere, but for now we will just take the easy way because I need to get this done and get testing. So we're going to take the easy way out and have the receiving arguments be an array as well. Or a dictionary. That probably makes more sense, right? So we go back to the buff override stats. I don't like this. Let's make it a little bit easier for ourselves and have like a function where we interpret stats. Or make it even easier for myself. Move speed increased. Move speed increase. I'm just going to take the easy way out right now. I'll think about a better way to do it later. And this is going to take an array. And change that with this. And then this will just go, it will call the function onset override activated, and it will pass in each of the array elements. And problem solved for now. Let's think about that tomorrow. Okay. Run it back. Hit the U's on the soda. We don't have any errors. Things seem to be working, but then there wouldn't be anything to change in the stats. So how could we tell? We can't right now. We probably need a couple of breakpoints. It's not crashing. That's the main part. How do we know it's working? Well, the game didn't shit itself, so... Okay, first of all, we can actually take this move speed modifier now. We have complete access to that across the project, and we can go to the player stats, and if we go to player data, and actually it's player state data, right? State data, state machine data. Okay, fair enough. And then we can just say, hey, the velocity is actually multiplied by the, what is this singleton called? Overrides? Override stats dot, oh, that's a class. What's the singleton called? It's just override stats. Right. Okay, that's not confusing at all. And then we can say move speed modifier, right? So we're multiplying it by... Actually, we're not multiplying it, Jesus. That is not how this calculation is going to go. We are adding that to the distance, actually. That is how I want this to work. Right? Distance plus override stats modifier. Now we can make it something like, we can double the speed theoretically. So if we go back to the Fiend Soda thing, and in here we've said 16, but we actually, if we make this 64, our character should move twice as fast when we run. And it will look really weird, but we'll worry about that later. We just need to prove that we can do this. So this is normal movement speed, right? Pretty standard stuff. And we go to this. And for 10 seconds when we use this, we should move extra fast. And we're not moving fast at all. So that tells me that shit ain't working. That's alright. So let's just check some of the readouts of this. So if we go to override stats. Onset override. I want to see this in action, first of all. Let's put a breakpoint there and make sure that it's even hitting that and not just the wrong name. Breakpoint, stat. Amount. Stat modifier. Also, the default value is meant to be 1. Okay. Right, so it's working though. Which is good, in a way. Active stat modifier gets added to the list. And then we're just like removing the item, that's fine, whatever. Okay, so it is making it to that, which is good. It's a good sign. Then the real question is, on the player, then the speed is not getting picked up, which means I'm potentially like thinking the method wrong, like how it gets applied within the player controller. If that makes sense. So player data stat. Player state machine. Override stats. State data. What function am I doing this in? This is the right function to do it in. Get velocity. Distance plus override stats. If I put a breakpoint here, it's going to breakpoint like every frame. Let's go to the run state. Get velocity here, excuse me, is where it's going to be called when you move. So if I run now, Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so now we're calling this function. Oh, this is going to be annoying. I shouldn't have like separated this. What's the movement speed? Huh. None of this is gonna like be correct. I need to do my debug. I gotta go to the toilet, guys. I'm sorry. Share stream. I need a be right back screen. Oh, let's see. Good Geese. Yeah, watch Good Geese for like 5 seconds. I'll be back.
Overrated parts of game development.
This guy's fun.
Where if your game looks amazing, the gameplay doesn't even have to be that good. Which, if you really stop to think about it, is kind of insane, and I don't know how we ended up here. Now, personally, I think your game should look as good as it plays. The problem is, for a lot of us, that's easier said than done. So today, I want to share the tips I learned in art school that drastically improved not only my games art, but my overall art skills. So, let's jump in. And starting off with probably the most important part of the process, and that is research. Turns out, if you don't know what good art looks like, it's almost impossible to make good art. And really, just imagine research as eating food. You need to give food to your body to produce more energy. Reference gives your brain visual energy. You like that metaphor? But where do you go to find reference? Well, that's really up to you. It could be social media, it could be books, it can be whatever. I personally check out Pinterest, the Spriter's resource. It's fantastic if you want to study older sprites. Dribble with 3 Bs if you're curious about more vector-related illustrations, and art books. And the key thing here is simple. Reference, reference, reference. If you're on your phone, screenshot an image that you like. If you're on your computer, make a folder called inspiration. And anytime you see something cool, throw it in there. I have spent literal hours looking at art online and downloading it and putting it into folders. It's gotten to the place where my computer just lags when I try to open the folder because there's so many images in there. Now, it's easy for your eyes start to glaze over and you feel like, hey, I should actually be doing something here. But trust me, this is never a waste of time. Over time, your brain starts picking up on patterns subconsciously, color choices, line weights, composition, shading styles. You won't even realize it's happening. And that leads us to step 2. And that is mimicking. This is a part everyone dreads, but honestly, this can be a lot of fun. Basically, the idea is simple. You trace and you copy other people's artwork. When I was in art school, we would recreate simple, classic pieces from well-known artists, and the goal wasn't to steal, it was to understand. When I say recreate, I mean like try to fully remake the piece. Break it down, study it, ask questions. How did they shade this? What color did they use? Are they using shapes that are geometric or organic? What's the line?
Yeah, we're back.
Is there texture, cross-hatching? All of the above.
I actually want to watch this video later. Well, it's really short. Nice. All right. Yeah, that's right. We can't figure out why this isn't actually affecting player speed. And I'm not exactly sure the path. Man, I've got to clean up these warnings, eh? So we know... What do we know? Oh, you know what? Like, it's so funny. I have like a debug that I was working on. Literally, I've got like a debug menu here. And I, excuse me, Godot, come back. Go there. Script. Go here. And it was like, okay. I have one variable, which is health. But we can actually get the velocity and signal it out to this and add it to the list of labels. Which might help us like see how fast we're going. So it's literally just a bunch of labels. It's not very complicated. And this is H box. It really should be V box. Not very good. Velocity. So, really easy. So we can just create a signal. Wait, isn't there a velocity updated signal? It doesn't go through here. Just emit this for the game state on velocity updated. Velocity as a float. This is not a function. What am I doing? Where's this coffee? I got this coffee here. It's gone cold. Okay, I guess it's been like an hour or two. Oh well, it's early, guys. On velocity update. Okay, we got that. I don't know if that might actually share the same name as like the actual signal. So I don't know if that's what I want to call it. If I go back to this and go to the move function, oh, it's velocity change. Okay, that's fine. Go back to the signal manager. Okay, save that. Grab this so that we can put it in the debug. So that we can just get it. This coffee is getting in the way. Signal manager dot on velocity updated dot connect, and then we'll just go func health changed, velocity changed, updated, mount, float, void, and then we just go. We don't have access to it. Silly. Come here. Wait, this isn't the right script. What the hell? I'm being lazy. Hey. Text equals current velocity, and we go percentage s, right, same as above, and we go percentage str amount, and then we connect that to this, and then we go and we emit that from the movement state. This is enemy motion, that's not. Here we've got move, and right after this we can go signal manager dot on velocity updated dot emit, and we can emit the velocity. Although realistically you should emit it from the actual player character, not this, but whatever, that'll do for now. Okay, so now we should be able to see how fast we're going at all times in the game, which will be much more convenient than having to check print. Current health, that makes sense. Oh, we have got errors out the asshole. Oh, I said float. It's actually a vector too. I'm an idiot. Vector 2. And that means we're going to have to handle it differently in the debug as well. It's not a float. I suppose it could be a float. You could make it that way, but I'm not going to do that. This is a vector 2. And we can just keep that. It'll just look a bit strange, I think. Yeah. Right, so we've got 92 velocity, And then we've got vertical velocity as well. Sweet as. It's a very strange number. I thought it would be like more specific. I should be able to sprint. There's a bug within this game that you can activate, or did I take that out? Nope, I took it out. Okay, so we go 92, and when we do this, it should go up, but it doesn't. Very clearly, we're still calculating low velocity. So the question is there an easy way that I can access this? I think the answer is, it's most likely that where I'm trying to do this is not like a good spot for it. It's a resource, so there's a chance that I'm not even like affecting the correct. No, well, I mean, it's calculating every single time. No, this should work. God damn it. We could have the buffs. Do you reckon if we looked at the buffs, then... Or is the duration is 10 seconds, right? That should be enough, right? I don't know, am I crazy? Where's Fiend Soda? Get over here. Make this longer, like 60 seconds. But move speed modifier. Size 3. Let's... This is definitely going off. Let's try something else. Player state data. Override stats move speed modifier. We're adding that and dividing it by jump time. Maybe I will just do like a printout for this, I don't know. Get velocity. I'm feeling lazy because I need to know the answer. It's always 1. It's always 1. It's still 1, even though we used it. That's not changing. Okay, so that is our answer. Printing out the vase is a debug thing I use all the time. Yeah. It's not pretty, but it works. Sometimes I think it is worth having a debug screen if you're making something a bigger project, just for stuff like long term. I should really spend more time setting it up, but NA Games has given me a good script to solve this problem, so you can print out anything to the debug screen, but I neglect to implement it every time I create a project. Okay. So we know that's only going to 1, which means that there's a problem somewhere in the ideas here. In our ideas here, we are going to go to the override. Realistically, debugging a PHP. Oh well, if you're debugging PHP, I can't help you. So I would say it's probably getting set back to 0. Like, is this greater than or equal to 0? Should it be less than? Less than or equal to 0? Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I think we're deactivating it instantly. That's my assumption. Because we're continuously looping through this. Let's have a look. We can just break on this. Or an override stat deactivated. I bet you this is going to trigger as second I activate the item. Did I hit the breakpoint? No, it just... Where the hell? It hit the breakpoint. We hit the breakpoint. Dude, what the hell's going on with my... Breakpoint. Dude, I got so many windows. These are a lot of asserts and print rich. Yeah. Whatever works, really. Line 32, move speed. The dictionary. And this has been subtracted down to 0. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That's like meant to be 60 seconds. Pull down console is kind of cool. We could just like print out the entire array, active stat modifier. They did it first for decades? Nice. Dude, Amiga, that is old head stuff, eh? Let's get rid of this other print statement. Need this. My first computer was Windows XP. I mean, the family computer ran like, whatever, I don't know. It was like a DOS and Windows. Probably 98 or something. I don't know. I feel like my family didn't have a computer. I mean, we did have one. It's just, it was old. But yeah, I don't know what it ran. I was too young to know. Yo, that seems right. Wait, stop. That counts down way faster than I would anticipate for 60. It's 60 frames, not 60 seconds. Wait, what the fuck? Did I stuff up instead of minus equals delta? How much is a delta? Hold up. You type C Windows to start it then, you typed Win32. Dude, I don't fucking remember. I know you had to like open up the green screen and then type some stuff to make it go. I suspect, you know, the 90s kids have early memories of that, but like we weren't actually like I was 5 years old, you know? Okay, maybe you guys were just like using computers more than me. Where's my overrides script? I suspect I know what the problem is. Oh my god. Come back. I was writing websites on 95, Jesus. When Windows 95 came out, I didn't even know. Minus equals delta? Is it because they're ants? What's going on actually? Yo, am I dumb? Actually, why is delta so big? Like, look at this. It's just getting subtracted like really quickly. Delta should be like a really small number, right? Google agrees with me, although I guess in some installations it could have been different regionally. Is this like greater than? This is less than or equal to 0, right? I'm so confused. I've never seen that before. Print delta. Is this because it's like a singleton or something? No, delta is like nothing. But it counts down so quickly. What is this? I've never encountered this before. This is new for me. Yeah, where'd the scripts go? I have one client who uses CNC machine with Windows 98 SE. Is massively restricted from the internet, only gets data through a sneakernet. Okay. But couldn't you just use Linux for that? If you were like concerned about security, I guess. I guess like it depends on the person. You're genuinely? I don't understand this error. This is bizarre to me. Why are we counting down so quickly? Delta is like such a small... We're set. Can you do? Can you not do minus equals delta? Is this like something you just can't do? No. No. I don't know. It would cost him thousands. The machine printing money. Yeah. That is often the case with these things. I don't get it. It's behaving very strangely. It starts at 59. It's every frame it goes down a... That's not 60 seconds. That's like... 1 second, really. They're floats. I'm passing in a float, I'm assuming. Wait, go back to the item. Bean soda? That wouldn't even matter if it was a float or not. It's a float. Dude, I don't know. Why is it doing this? Numerous air traffic control facilities still rely on computers running Windows 95. There's military XP version still smattered around the USA. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You don't, like, you know, computers don't need to be that complicated. You just, and it's better if it's like obscure because it's harder for people to target. Dude, I've got no clue. I'm actually drawing blanks on this. Does anyone know? Why is this subtracting like an integer and not going down? Still the same. Doesn't matter which one I use. Unfold the command to a non-abbreviated version. Yeah, we could try that. That would make sense. So we get var remaining, and we make it equal to that minus delta, and then we set it to that. Why is it giving me a warning for that? Oh, it doesn't know what it is. But and then still cranky. Stat modifier has no static type. Wait, what? Okay, narrowing conversion float is converted to an int. Okay, wait. There's my answer. There was an int. There it is. That's why it's been doing that. Okay. Damn it! I knew that there was an integer thing going on here. Why wasn't it giving me the error for that? That's probably why, right? Gets you every time. Yeah, that's behaving much more normally. We're still not getting the speed boost, but at least we know the variable is active. I guess that, yeah, that's the next question is like, we've got to, I'm assuming, let's just be lazy here and just drop that in, move speed modifier. Because that's the one we're manipulating. Am I actually setting the value correctly? It's still set to 1. Okay, well that would be your answer. Stat modifier equals. I wonder. We're setting the variant. We're getting that and we're setting the variant. That is not how we should do that. What we should do is actually go, this is wrong. Now that I review. We say that, we say set and we pass in the string, which is stat, and then we pass in the value, which is the amount, right? I wish there was a case, but obscurity is a myth in Windows 95, and NT suffered from a tool called Backrifice. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I'm no expert in these things. Isn't that what pirate software is for? Okay, moment of truth. This should work for sure now. Yep. He's definitely moving faster. How long until he runs out? It's a minute and I have to run around like this. Ouch. He looks a bit funny. Speed run. Speed run. Ouch. Speed run. Oh, I have to fight things. Dude, a minute is a long time. It's pretty fun to like run around at the speed. I think I'm going to keep this item. Oh, they're still chasing me. You actually go slow when you dash? You slow down when you dash? Oh no, wait, no, you sprint super fast. I need to add like speed lines or something if you go over a certain speed. Ouch. I think the timer's broken. It's been more than a minute for sure. I fell in the hole. Oh wait. Am I going slow again? No, the value's still 64. The timer must be broken. Pretty fun though. See, there's no active stat modifier. Okay, so we got the same, okay. We've got the same error here where I'm setting the variant, not the... Okay, and of course, this is not really the correct way to do things. Let's just make this 10 seconds. We know it's working. Same error, because I'm a dum-dum. It's still counting down. Wait, I changed that to 10. Oh, I didn't actually save it. I had to tab out. Good times. Ouch. And then we're going back slow again. Sweet. It works. So now you can drink your sodas. And it kind of works. It's not, we still have to work on exactly getting to this kind of stuff, but we can manipulate, we can have shoot speed modifiers. Now the numbers are kind of a bit sus. And we'll need to look at how that is actually calculated, but now we can manipulate stuff. Happy days. I just need to check on something and I'll be right back. Go back to this.
sprite on Mario, look at them, see why the pixels are there, see what they imply, and copy it, pixel by pixel. And yes, people avoid this because they're scared of one big thing, and it's a big one, and that's plagiarism. But the solution is very simple. Just don't post your art online. It's very simple. When you make something, this is practice. It's for you. No one's gonna believe that you invented the original Mario sprite anyway, so there's no reason for you to post it online. Now, after you've researched and mimicked a few styles, something interesting happens. You start to develop your own style, and this is when you create without copying. You hear me there? Now here's the cool part. You'll start making artistic decisions without consciously thinking about them. Your brain has already been trained by all the research and imitation that you just instinctively choose better colors, stronger shapes, cleaner compositions, and it feels natural. So let me give an example. Let's say you need to design a house for a JRPG. First, research, gather tons of house references in that style that you want to make it, and just make a mood board. It's that simple. Next, you want to find a couple of those images that you really like and copy them, trace them, study the perspective, look at the shading, pay attention to the proportions. What do you like? What do you not like? Once you start to get comfortable or maybe bored of copying, put aside the reference and design your own house from scratch. Yes, you can glance at your mood board if needed, but don't copy directly. The goal is to apply what you learned, not to duplicate it. This is when I tend to look at actual reference of like real photography. That way it's harder for me to just want to go back and try to steal. Now, once you've done that, it's time for an incredibly important part. Some may argue the most important part, and that is getting feedback. Yes, I know sometimes people can give bad advice. I get it all the time. I understand. It happens. But most of the time, you don't need another artist to tell you that something looks off. A fresh set of eyes are powerful. There's times that I stare at a piece for hours and completely miss obvious mistakes, and then I show a family member and they spot it in an instant, which is kind of embarrassing. So don't take feedback personally, use it and let it improve your artwork. Most of the time, people mean well, they want to help, and sometimes they just have a bad way of showing it. I had a professor one time grab one of my pieces, ripped it off the wall, and threw it on the ground. So yeah, that was awkward. And that's the process. Research, mimic, design, feedback. Repeat. Eventually, after enough time, you can drop the mimic stage because your eyes will be trained. But that takes practice, and I'm talking a lot of practice.
If you want to, for reference, if you want to send me a pull request with abbreviated code, I would send it back because you can't write unit tests with some tricks that save you lines. No unit test, no pull request. Dude, I don't even know what a unit test is. I am not on that level.
Resources out there, but one I highly recommend is Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. Hey, check it out. Ethical Reacts.
Basically learning.
No, I know what a pull request. I know what I know what a unit test is. Like, I have an idea. Here, let me tell you. Let me pause this for a second. I will tell you what I think a unit test is, and you can tell me how close I am. For reference, I have no qualifications. I am an accountant. You know what I mean? So I think a unit test is some kind of automated script that you run over your project that can read certain functions and make sure that they work the way that you expect them to. That's what I think it is, based on what I've listened to and heard about. But I don't know. Okay, sweet, I got it. So that's what it is. Would I know how to do that? No idea. I wouldn't have the slightest clue how to make that work in Godot. You know what I mean? Is it something that you run like within the game project? Just call the function Godot as a cert. Okay. And feed it numbers. Okay, maybe I need to do some research on that. As the game grows bigger, it is something that you need to like, I understand the need for that because like I can see with this project, like at some point it's going to get bigger. Like right now, because it only has one room, it's easy for me to test. But eventually the game gets so big that you can't just sit down and just play through it to test it, right? And so you need to like, oh yeah, if I call this function, does it use that later when it gets complicated to prove that something will stay within 20 points or work at the same time? Yeah. Okay, so we can manipulate that, I guess. I don't like this number and these being 1 because in the in the player movement stats, player state machine data, we're saying we're adding that. So it goes back to 0. Condition you bloated sac of assert condition you bloated sac of protoplasm. And it's like, I guess if we have it count down to 0 and then set it to 0, I guess. Rather, if we're instead of multiplying, we're doing an addition, then we set it back to 0 rather than, I guess. I don't know. I need to think more about how this will actually go together, but right now we'll do this because it works and we'll worry about it later. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We have items now, and you can use said items. There's things I want, like hotkeys, like just for one item, not for like a bunch of items. This is Metroidvania. We only want to have one item, just like a button you can press that activates like whatever you want, whether it's like a speed up or a make this also like not crazy, 16 for 10 seconds. For reference, 16 is 1 block size. Where is the game? So that's one additional tile of distance. So I don't think that'll break the game too much. But like Metroidvanias are kind of about sequence breaking, so I don't know. I don't think you could take this. This is like quite a big gap. So right now, obviously this is not like the final of the level, but this is sort of like an example of like a break. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 block distance. You can do 64, so that's 4 blocks, right? You can jump this far. You add an extra 1 block, you're still only getting to here. You would need to effectively double it, so is why you need the dash. Get across that gap. Fun fact, asserts are only stripped on release build, so you only have to toggle all the print commands to comments. Okay. Huh. It's pretty good, actually. Not a bad situation at all. Sound. The music is not for you, it's for me, so I don't have to go crazy listening to myself. Okay, so let's say like we put a pin in items. Like next week, what are we looking at? Like what am I starting on? We don't have any NPCs in the game. And that's kind of like pretty core. And then we circle back. Like we get all this stuff in the game and then we're gonna have to circle back to touch it up before the demo comes out. I also need to like have a story. I need to have like a layout for the levels. All of that kind of stuff I need to add in. So what's the plan? Should I do like a plan for the week? What's the... Is there like a... They should implement one of those like drawing things in Notepad so you can make like little plans. So we need NPCs. We need some kind of like tutorial, but I don't know if that's going to be implemented in like introduction to the game. Like we need an intro, we need like a starting area, right? So we kind of need to work out like the overall layout and structure of the starting areas and how that's going to go together. So we need like a level structure. So we don't have that right now. I don't know what that's called. And like, because this is like, what do we need to actually like make the demo? Because we're trying to work towards like just having a demo that I can take around to like the meetups in my area and put on online for people to play to get feedback on. So road to demo. We actually probably need a bit of story. I don't want to write too much. I'm not very particularly good at that. It's low priority for me at least. I don't know what else. So my goal is, like, the NPCs, I don't think there's going to be that many in the game. But if you're, the overall, like, plot idea is that you're in a research facility in Antarctica and your goal is to rescue the scientists. And they're kind of, but it's not really, like, your goal is to, like, figure out what went wrong and stop the world from ending. Whatever. Because of what the scientists did. And the sub goal is to rescue them. And that's sort of what like keeps you going deeper and deeper into the facility as you go like below the ice. And the whole idea is good ending, you rescue all the scientists. Bad ending, you don't. And like, but like obviously we can't, that's not going to be in the demo, but like you do need to have like at least, you know, a certain number of people that you can rescue. Maybe that's on a threshold. Maybe you don't need to rescue all of them. Maybe you just need to rescue like a certain percentage of them. And rescuing them is not going to be difficult. It's just like finding them, kind of like you finding grubs in Hollow Knight or whatever. Maybe you have to kill like a semi-difficult thing or do like a platforming thing to get over to them. But like once you actually reach them, it's kind of like they're saved at that point. Not that complicated, but we probably want them to like respond to you. So they need to like, you need to be able to interact with them. And then I do want to have like one person that sets this all off. Like an NPC, like when you get into the base, they're going to say like, oh, please help us, you know, like find all the people and send them to me and I can get them out of the base from here, whatever. Like that's my goal. And then like, you know, after that, there's not really too much to say. Just like off you go. And then potentially one other NPC, which is like your co-worker, your comrade, I guess, if you're like a soldier-ish kind of guy. And he's actually going to give you like an alternate goal, which is like, actually don't rescue them. So you get like this good bad dynamic, and it's like good ending, you do rescue them, bad ending, you follow the instructions of like the company that's running this and let them not make it, if you know what I'm saying. And then that's the bad ending. But I don't know what the endings are or like anything else you see. Like, but other than that, like we're talking like less than, you know, a couple hundred pages of dialogue. It's not a lot. Keep it slim so that it's easy. But we do need to have a way to interact with them. I'll probably use like Dialogue Manager. I've used that in the past. I know what it is. So I don't really intend to roll my own. That's about the only thing that I'll never do myself because it is just a lot. Which one do I... Dialogue? Nathan Hode does this. If the dialogue is one line per spreadsheet, you send that to the localization team. Yeah. I Google Translate to fill it first. So, yeah, I think it should be pretty straightforward. And then, yeah, you can localize it pretty easily if there's not that much text. And then bringing that into Godot is fairly straightforward. Because you could have, like, multiple languages for your label. You don't need multiple labels. You can just have them. I forget how it works, but I know you can. Say, like, with the label... localization. I forget. Google Translate A6 NDE. Yeah, I've done it before. I've helped my brother with localization for his app. We did the Italian. Yeah, my wife. But yeah, we filled it with Google Translate first because like there was just so many. I have English in my localization. Nice, yeah. No Italian? What the hell? Okay. And yeah, I'd say that's what we're going to do for the next... Probably we'll do dialogue. And get an NPC into the game. Which means I need to create like a scientist character in Sprite. So how big is my... I don't even know how big my dude is. I don't remember. Unfortunately, the corruption of index of countries is something you can have to watch for if you stage out a slower and make more income until full saturation. Yeah, that's a fair point. Depends how much it costs. Like, I do make some money from the channel, so I could potentially put that towards it if I feel like it. Although I intended to use that for like artwork, because that's more important. No offense to people who don't speak English. It depends. Hero standing, right? Edit canvas size 32 by, oh, it is 32 by 32, but I guess like his size is actually like 24. Yeah, he's 23 pixels tall. We don't really want to make things taller than him. He's like kind of chibi. File save as. Let's do like new NPCs. Scientist. And then we just create a new layer. And I like to use the AAP64. Thanks to the show, branch manager dog demands out of step function be activated. Sniffari. I like that one. Sniffari, yeah. Have a good one, dude. I appreciate you stopping by. Alright. Yeah. So, like, I guess, like, I mean, honestly, there's really not a lot to it, eh? Like, this is the head. And then... Actually, let's not use black. Let's use, like, a grey to block it out. They're gonna have to be more people-like, though. You know what I mean? Honestly, yeah, like you could just copy the same shape. Thinner arms, thinner legs, although we've got not a lot of pixels to work with. Because he's meant to be like in a suit, you know what I mean? So normal people aren't going to be as big as him. You can bring it in like that. And this side, I guess it's like whatever. And see the thing, like you kind of want to have like this suit, like the coat, you know, like if these guys are researchers or whatever. You sort of have like a... I might have to like look at some pixel art with people with clothes on. I drew animals, and then does it go like around the outside? Look too much like a cape, or is it just like behind, like in the background, darker, hanging off, and then like yeah, obviously they have like the white coming down, something like that. Head shape might be a bit of an issue. Maybe they should have smaller heads as well. I honestly don't have that many pixels to work with. Pretty tough. Maybe the shoulders be shorter as well. Go like back one this. And instead of like making the head sit like that, like you can actually give these people a neck. I don't know if that's gonna look very good though. It's a bit silly. Shoulders don't look like that. Maybe come up 1 pixel. Yeah, I don't know. The head would still sit here. You know what I mean? I don't know about this shape. And then the top is way too flat. But they're gonna have hair anyway, so I don't think that matters. I have to draw hair. Ew. Annoying. little mouth. I suppose I need a chin as well, right? Like, I need to like look at you know what I noticed actually was that my characters are way smaller than like some of the, like if I'm saying like, oh, the resolution is pretty close to Game Boy Advance, but if I look at like GBA, like Mega Man Zero, like that's an action platformer and the characters are way bigger. Seal is a scientist, right? How big is she? She's like... I don't know how they managed to get this many pixels in. It's actually insane. What? 37. So she's like a lot taller. 37 by 23. And I'm trying to fit mine into like 20 pixels. Like they're tiny. You know what I mean? Like she wouldn't even fit on this canvas. Keep the head size and then just make the legs tiny. But at the same time, like obviously you need to have them be like the same height as this guy. So we're gonna have to figure it out. He's very simple, so he's easy to draw, but like if you want to have characters with more detail, it gets challenging. Like, what do you even put for the mouth? It's 1 dot. Like that's literally it. You know what I mean? I probably need to ditch the outline. Maybe that's it. Is that the color we go for the suit? For the... We need to have like a foreground and a background. So I'll go for like the lighter white at the front. And I suppose like if it's a jacket, right? Like it's gonna have a gap at the front here. Dude, pixel art's so hard. Let's just go flat colors for now. And then this, so because it is a jacket, like you would expect like this to go sort of down like that. And then into the background. And that would actually be like a background color, like a darker. Color. But like they do need to have a skin color, I guess. And then what kind of color do they have on them? Let's just give them blue for now. Blue shirt, and then what about for the feet? Like brown shoes. And well actually blue, because blue's kind of jeans. Do you give them like a pants color? No, they'll look naked. So if we make the shirt like a red, and the pants, we can make them like a dark blue. Okay, so I'd say not bad, honestly, but probably the colors that I'm struggling with is the white for the jacket. And it looks too white here. And also it's not like symmetrical. You could put like a little jacket pocket. Scientist with no hair. Accurate. And then, yeah, we need to add hair, which is not something I'm really very good at. We'll add a new layer. This guy's like a nerd, right? So, like, he should have just like a nerd cut. Whatever that is. Accurate. He looks just like me. He needs a haircut. We could probably do some shading here. Something like that. Scientist ready for the NPC work tomorrow. We don't need to give him animations, but he'll do. Alright. We're prepared for tomorrow, where we will create dialogue, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty. I'll save this guy. And I think it's time to go and start my day properly. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it.